Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. So this is going to be my Gotham episode 20 video. If you didn't know, there's 2 more episodes in the season. We're that close to the finale. So there's next week, and then the week after that is the last episode. Originally, I'd actually thought that this was going to be the conclusion of the Ogre storyline, but that's spilling over into next week. So it's going to be like a 3-part storyline with his character. I feel like we were all in agreement this week that the Riddler was probably the redeeming quality of this episode. He's consistently the most fun thing about this show. Fingers crossed in season 2 that they spend a little bit more time in each episode with his character. They can do that. They can course correct like that if one character just becomes vastly more popular than the others. It doesn't always happen because sometimes they've already made the episode, so it's too late to change. One of the good things about Gotham right now, though, is that they've been picked up for season 2, so they have like another 22 episodes, and they haven't even started writing it yet. So they can look at the characters that the audience has been rallying behind and just spend more time developing those characters. So let's just go ahead and get into it. Careful for spoilers from the episode if you haven't seen it yet, starting with top 5 moments. Number 5, Barbara is captured by the Ogre. I don't know if captured is the right word because she did go willingly. That's kind of his MO. He just charms them into his sex dungeon. It's like 50 Shades of Gotham right now. I couldn't remember, but I feel like the sex dungeon was actually in the promos. I feel like that's like a promo moment they would show off. There are only a few things that pass through your mind when you see a shot like that. 1, you think 50 Shades of Grey, sex room. Or 2, you think of like Jigsaw with the Saw movies. Like classic Texas Chainsaw Massacre type horror. I feel like the crazy torture would actually be the preferable option, just because 50 Shades of Grey was such a terrible movie. It'd be more fun if they were going for outright comedy, but that's not what they're going for with the Ogre storyline. He's meant to be like very threatening, very scary. Even though he's coming off more like a Tim Burton villain, one that you laugh at. There are a few exceptions to that. I feel like Danny DeVito balanced the line between funny and terrifying really, really well. The Ogre storyline is really the backbone of this theme that's been crossing these 3 episodes, you could call them now. People killing to save those that they love. Like, is Gordon going to kill the Ogre to save Barbara, even though they're estranged? Short answer, yes, even though, we don't know if the Ogre is actually going to die. We could say he'll probably commit to killing the Ogre to save Barbara, whether or not it actually ends up going down that way. Comic book shows have a way of saving villains, like they find some out so that they could always come back in a future season. What I'm really hoping to see out of this Barbara Ogre storyline is like a dramatic character shift in Barbara. I haven't felt like her character's been very interesting, and I feel like they could use this trauma, this Ogre trauma, to take the character in a different direction and just have a little bit more fun with her. On to number 4, Bruce and Selina go on a super special date to try and do some super sleuthing. Here's the thing about all the Bruce and Selina stuff. This was a lot of fun. Like, I really like their moments together, but I feel like they work better on a show, say like The Flash, that plays more on lighthearted comedy. I feel like children just work better in that context, unless it's going to be like some crazy horror flick, and that's not really what Gotham is. The thing I really like about Bruce and Selina is that Selina is probably the strongest female character on the show, and she's the youngest, which is just hilarious. But she's kind of the brains of their operation. Even though Batman becomes the world's greatest detective, she's the one that always knows what's up. I think she made her feelings for Bruce pretty clear when she pushed Alfred's friend out the window. That was kind of like her version of what's going on with the Ogre. People crossing the line to save people that they really care about or love. I don't think the Catwoman loves Bruce. Like, their relationship isn't that intense yet. Moving on to number 3, the Penguin versus Maroni. So if you remember the last episode, he's working his way up to just getting rid of Maroni, but we also have Fish Mooney that's coming in from left field too. Like, we're moving into the finale. We're so close to the finale that all of the mob elements of the show are going to turn on each other and just go crazy in a battle royale. I feel like the show is just backing the Penguin as the protagonist of this storyline. Even though he is one of the more notable Batman villains, I don't think of him as an antagonist on the show. Like, the show wants you to root for him, so that makes him a protagonist. Yes, Jada Pinkett Smith did spoil, a few things that might be going down in the finale, so let's just not mention them in the comments, or if you do, just please use spoiler tags. But I feel like if you've been frustrated with the Penguin's storyline, you'll be really happy with what goes down in the finale. Like, he'll get his really bloody, gruesome moment. He's killed a lot of people this season. Arguably, I think it was a bigger WTF when we saw the Riddler kill someone because he'd never done it before. Once you do it the first time, each subsequent killing becomes like less and less of a WTF, unless they're killing a character that you love. Most of the people the Penguin has killed have been like third-rate henchmen, so it's not that big a deal. And you could argue that, Maroni was kind of trying to cozy up to his mother, so he's trying to kill someone to protect a woman that he loves. Just like the other characters in the show, with the exception of Bruce and Selina, where you kind of flip the gender roles. On to number 2, Barbara drinks a little bit of the Ogre Kool-Aid. There's a certain part of me that feels like she almost went into that torture dungeon willingly, so you just wonder what's going through her mind. If you've been watching Daredevil, the Vanessa character is like this really complex, interesting female character that seems like she's evil, but she's not. She enters into this really twisted relationship with the main villain, but she doesn't canonize him. They have a very loving relationship. So you just wonder, what is going on inside her head? It's just fascinating to me. I feel like this ogre storyline could be a redemption for Barbara's character. I feel like there's a couple logical ways that it could go down. You could play it straight. Gordon saves her and they jumpstart their relationship and just, try to deal with the trauma. That's like the safety option. I hope they don't go that route. Second, more interesting option is that it pushes her over the edge and she goes super dark. Originally, when they were conceiving the show, the Barbara Keene character was actually a different character. They changed it just a little bit. I think she was originally intended to be something of like a proto-Batgirl. Like, that might be where she'd end up in like 4 or 5 seasons. The actress that they initially cast as that character, they ended up firing. The actress that you see as Barbara Keene right now, that's the person that they brought on after the fact. So I think they changed her storyline. I don't think that this Barbara is going to turn into Batgirl or anything like that. It's way too soon, even if they are going to do that. Usually what you see is like a character go through some crucible, like some really traumatic experience. It changes them and they find new purpose. That's kind of what I'm hoping happens with Barbara. I'd really like to see her go off the rails in season 2 because of this experience. This experience drives her in like a more Black Canary direction where she decides to fight back. Would that not be so crazy if Barbara went off and joined the League of Assassins? Never gonna happen, but just, like somebody on Tumblr can take care of that fanfic. Moving on to my number 1 WTF moment. Arguably the most redeeming moment of the episode, the Riddler kills Miss Crinkles' boyfriend in the heat of passion. I say it all the time, he's the most fun character on the show. I don't think that this is going to drive him to villainy just yet. Let's think about this. He just killed someone. He is completely freaked out. I loved his reaction too. Oh dear. He has some of the best comedic timing on the show, like especially with the watermelon. If he tells Miss Kringle, there's only a couple ways that she could react. One, most likely she'll probably freak out, and it drives him away from the police station. I feel like it's a little too soon for that, so he might not tell her right away. He'll probably try to cover up the murder. That might give him the opportunity to grow closer to Miss Kringle. I want to see those characters together. Their scenes are so much fun. I would really love to see her go dark, some sort of like Stockholm syndrome where she becomes like slightly evil character and they enter into this quasi crazy Joker Harley Quinn relationship. The Riddler is just not quite ready to be a villain yet. Like he's just not at that point. So I don't think that's going to happen right away. What I'd really like to see is him, find some clever way to cover up this murder, and he'll find new confidence in that. So, when he's presented with a similar situation in the future, he won't hesitate to kill someone. It's like the slippery slope to villainy. Like he'll just slowly find it easier and easier to do what he wants versus what's right. I feel like we can't call him a villain until he outright starts committing crimes for pleasure and leaving classic clues. Everybody keep your eyes peeled though for clues with respect to this specific killing. Here's my big question for you guys though. He just killed this cop. Do you think that he's going to leave a classic Riddler clue as part of the cover-up that he generates? There have been so many like classic Riddler moments. I feel like they have to do that before the season is over. And this is like the biggest thing that's happened to his character so far. Also, a really fun Easter egg. If you guys didn't notice it, the actor that was playing the ogre's father, this old actor here, he was Moriarty on Star Trek The Next Generation. Think about that. I feel like that's so appropriate to cast him as this role here. The father of this really evil person. Here's a really quick update on the video schedule for the next couple of days. It's going to be a little bit weird because I'm catching a special screening of Avengers Age of Ultron tonight, so my Flash video is going to post a little bit late. So next I'm posting my Flash video. That'll just post late tonight. Be sure to subscribe to get it. Then Tuesday morning, I'll post a non-spoilery Avengers Age of Ultron review. Don't worry, I won't spoil like end credits or any of the big stuff like that. It's just going to be a lot of fun. You can follow me on Twitter and Facebook for updates on videos after that. I have to figure out when I'm going to post Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Arrow, so I might shuffle those videos around a little bit too. And then after that, I'll try to get through my Daredevil stuff. There's just a few more Daredevil videos I need to post. What I'm going to do with my spoilery Avengers Age of Ultron review is just wait till after people in the United States see it, because that won't be till like after May 1st. So after that, I'll post like my Easter egg videos. I'll do like, full spoilers, stuff like that. If you don't know where my Twitter and Facebook are, there are links in the bottom of the description for that. So don't forget, really big episode of The Flash tonight. While you guys wait for that, you can click here to catch up on all my Flash videos, and you can click here to catch up on all my Avengers Marvel videos. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.